Hi everyone, my name is Phoebe. Welcome to the Stockton and Darlington Railway Challenge. Next stop, the future. Little Inventors invite children to draw invention ideas, and then we get makers, artists and designers to bring the most ingenious ones to life. They get shown on our website and also in exhibitions and museums across the world. Dominic Wilcox is an inventor, artist and designer and the creator of Little Inventors. His creations have become famous across the world, and all of his inventions start their life as drawings. And now he wants to inspire you to do the same. It's your turn to become a little inventor. At Little Inventors, we invite young people to draw invention ideas, and then we get makers, artists, and designers to turn the most ingenious ones into real objects. They get shown on our website, but also in exhibitions and museums across the whole world. Over 25,000 children from 90 countries around the world have already sent us their invention drawings, and over 250 of them have been chosen to be brought to life by expert makers. Our wonderful books help dream up fantastical, funny, or perfectly practical inventions with no limits, and encourage budding inventors to think big and have fun with their imaginations. From space, oceans, go green, and our invention handbook. So what is an invention? An invention is a new device or way of doing things which didn't exist before, an idea thought up by someone. Anyone can create an invention. The main thing needed to invent things is lots and lots of ideas. They can be helpful, useful, big or small. And who needs inventions? Everyone. Think about the first humans who had, well, they didn't have very much at all, and now look around at the world around you. Who do you think came up with the table, a fridge, a watch? Everything in the world had to be invented at some point. Coming up with inventions is one of the most natural things that humans and some animals do. It's how we learn to adapt to our environment and how we solve problems all around us. Here are some ideas from Dominic. Dominic loves to draw to get the ideas out of his brain and onto paper. Sometimes he doesn't even know what they'll be until he starts drawing, but putting pen to paper is the first step in inventing. At Little Inventors, we believe that bonkers is brilliant. Now let's watch this video to hear from the chief inventor himself.
Hello, I'm Dominic Wilcox and I'm an artist, designer and inventor. Welcome to my Inventors Workshop, where I come up with fun, interesting, bonkers or useful invention ideas. You might be wondering what I'm wearing on my head. Well, this is a reverse listening device that I made from tubes and kitchen funnels. Sounds that come from over that side go into my left ear, and sounds that come from over that side go into my right ear. It's really strange, but really fun to try out. Oh, my tea's too hot. We all have little problems in our lives, but we can use invention to solve them. So I was thinking that sometimes when my cup of tea is too hot, I burn my tongue. So maybe I could add a cooling fan inbuilt into the saucer. Sometimes you can get ideas by joining two different things together. Like these toothbrush maracas. You can brush your teeth and play music at the same time. I think of a lot of ideas just sitting here at my desk. For example, why use a normal hairdryer when you could do something like this? I'd love to try that. I also think of ideas when I'm walking down the street, or visiting a friend, or sitting in the park, or just on the bus thinking and looking around at the world. You can find great ideas everywhere. You just need to look closer. Okay, I've shown you some of my invention ideas, but I want to challenge you to come up with your own invention ideas. They could be huge, they could be tiny. They could be funny and bonkers, or they could be really useful and make the world an even better place. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your invention drawings. And don't forget to upload them to littleinventors.org.
SDR200 is a 9-month international festival taking place across County Durham and Tees Valley in 2025 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the first journey on the Stockton and Darlington Railway, SDR. This 26-mile journey on the SDR between Shildon and Stockton via Darlington on 27th of September 1825 transformed how the world traded, travelled and communicated. The SDR200 Festival will present a series of free, large-scale outdoor spectacles, events, exhibitions, and new art commissions in public spaces, libraries, and world-class museums of County Durham and Tees Valley from March to November 2025. The North East has been a centre for industry for hundreds of years, and many great inventors have come from this region. William Armstrong, one of Britain's forgotten geniuses, invented and built Newcastle Swing Bridge and the hydraulic mechanism that operates the famous Tower Bridge in London. He was a 19th century visionary inventor, engineer, scientist, and businessman. He was also an environmentalist 150 years ahead of his time, advocating water and solar power as substitutes for fossil fuels. The North East owes its place in railway history to the inventive genius of engineers such as George and his son, Robert Stephenson. They developed the earliest steam locomotives as a means of improving the transport of coal from the pit yard to the seaports. Previously, coal had been hauled along largely wooden railway tracks on platforms which relied on horses, human effort, and strength or the force of gravity to move them. George Stephenson was known as the father of the railways and built his first engine, Blucher, in 1814 in North Tyneside. With his son, Robert, he went on to develop the construction of railway systems, and in 1825, they opened the first passenger railway in the world, the famous Stockton and Darlington Railway, with their engine, Locomotion 1. Now, I bet some of you think that sometimes the past can seem old and boring, but some of the most wacky, forgotten inventions came from inventors before our time. Let's take a look at some bonkers travelling inventions of the past. Now, let's have a look at these amazing handcars. Handcars came onto the railroad scene in the 1860s. Early models used a hand-spun crank that was spun to propel the car. The handcar has a brake that is activated by a foot pedal. The brake was made of wood, though to increase its stopping ability, it was often covered with a leather pad. Typically, a handcar was pushed to get it started, and then 4 men would work the pump to get it to the right speed. The running speed of a handcar was about 8 miles per hour, though faster speeds of 15 miles per hour could be obtained if going downhill. Operating handcars was dangerous work. Many men were killed from collisions with unexpected trains that hit them from the front and the rear. It was standard procedure for a man to run ahead to curves and to watch for oncoming trains. Some railroads prohibited their use during heavy fog. Have you ever thought about roller coasters travelling on tracks? The first ones were invented in the 17th century, and Lamarcus Adner Thompson obtained one of the first known patents for a roller coaster design in 1885, based on the Switchback Railway, which opened a year earlier at Coney Island in America. Have you ever been on a roller coaster? And did you go upside down? A velocipede, also known as a railway velocipede or railroad velocipede, was a 3-wheeled handcar used by railroads in North America to travel on tracks. Doesn't it look like so much fun? Wow, have a look at this zoo train. In 1950, the zoo train made many stops in the US and Canada. In the display cars were several species of monkey, a young male lion from Kenya, a 2-year-old tigress named Pamela, an emu, 4 toucans, a concave hornbill named Rufus, a Peruvian llama, a tapir, a European genet, and a giant paca, like a beaver without a tail, a 100-year-old turtle, and 4 small crocodiles. A total of 38 animals called the zoo train home. Methueleza, the largest reticulated python ever captured at 31 feet in length and weighing 340 pounds, was also on display. Let's have a look at a quick history of 200 years of train travel in Britain. Firstly, we're around 1700. This is the early use of rails for transport. Since ancient times, human ingenuity has led to guided systems of transport that make tasks easier. By the 1700s, miles and miles of wooden track is used to haul across the northeast of England with some help from horses too. Now we're in 1807 and we have the first paying passengers. Originally built in 1804 to carry limestone from quarries to market, the Swansea and Mumbles Railway swaps cargo for paying passengers, becoming the very first to do so. The carriages are guided by iron rails, but horses, not locomotives, provide the pulling power. Then we're in 1825, and it's the opening of the Stockton and Darlington Railway on the 27th of September, 1825. Near Shildon, a steam-powered locomotive engine sets off, pulling wagons loaded with 450 to 600 excited passengers, and it was streaming with celebratory banners. And now we're in 1841, and we have a carriage fit for royalty. The aunt of Queen Victoria, Dowager Queen Adelaide, takes to the rails in a converted first-class carriage to tour northern England. As well as being the first royal carriage, it's the first adapted for health accessibility. The seats are redesigned for her needs. Royals continue to travel by bigger and grander trains to meet people over the next century. Then we're in 1879. And we're dining in restaurant cars. The Great Northern Railway starts the first dining car service in Britain. Some medical authorities have concerns, claiming rushed eating will cause fatal indigestion. Fortunately, no deaths are linked to dining car food, and the service became very, very popular. 1938, Mallard sets a new world steam record. The streamlined LNER locomotive Mallard pulls a test car carrying several railway engineers who lie flat down on the shaking floor. It reaches an incredible 126 miles per hour, a record which is still unbeaten today. Then we're in 1979. We have the first female train drivers. Karen Harrison applies to the British Rail Driving Training Programme, signing her application K. Harrison. At interview stage, bosses realise that she's not a man. Karen qualifies as one of the first female drivers, but workplace recognition is a challenge. She is supportive of female and LGBTQ+ colleagues at work. But what next? Let's meet Morgan Seville, an electrical technician on the railway. Morgan joined Nexus in 2015 on a 3-year apprenticeship in electrical maintenance. She's now a technician for signalling, telecommunications, electrical and mechanical engineering in Metro's capital delivery team, working on a wide variety of new projects across the system. Morgan says, I would say to anyone who wants to work as part of a team, earning money and learning practical skills, go for an apprenticeship. It doesn't matter who you are or what career you thought you might do. If you see something that looks interesting, challenging, and fulfilling, go for it. Now let's meet Lynn Dickinson, a station delivery manager. Lynn is responsible for managing over 120 customer service staff who work in the Metro stations, making sure all 60 stations on the Metro are clean and tidy, and working with all the engineers to make sure that when the lights, lifts, and escalators break, they get fixed really, really quickly so the passengers can keep on using them. She says, the best thing about my job is I get to meet all the people that use the Metro. The weirdest, grossest thing I've ever had to do is pick up someone's false teeth off the track. One of the coolest things I've ever done was manage the filming for The X Factor when James Arthur was auditioning. I met him before he was famous. The most unusual thing I've ever done was the day I helped Digby, a miniature pony, learn to use the metro as he was going to live with and help a blind lady in America. There are some incredible trains around the world. Have a look at these three. The first one there is the glass floor hanging train in China. Passengers can see out right below their feet. The middle image is of Blue Mountain Scenic Train in Australia, and it is one of the steepest trains in the world. And finally, the third one there is the Shinkansen in Japan, instantly recognizable for its striking, sloping nose and sweeping aerodynamic curves. The Shinkansen was the world's first high-speed train and quickly became known around the world by its English name, the bullet train. It's time to meet Dan and Ella from Helsinki, the capital of Finland. Dan and Ella get the train whenever there is too much snow to cycle in the city. Let's go on a journey with them.
Hi, my name's Dan and I live in Helsinki, which is the capital of Finland. I live with my two daughters, Ella and Alva, and we often use the tram in the wintertime especially. Winter in Helsinki, there's a lot of snow. Usually we cycle around, but sometimes there's too much snow to cycle. Today Ella and I are going to visit our friends in Oulu and we're going to go on the number 15. Are you ready to go? Let's go then. How do we get to Mumma and Papa's house? We go to Oulu travelling on the train.
Yes.
What are your favourite things about the train?
Train.
To the play area?
Yeah. Where are you going? Mama katsottu sitä pleikan viikon kohtaa kuvaa.
Find a seat.
Yeah. Yeah, come see Papa. Because I like that.
You like going fast on the tram?
Yeah.
What else do you like about the tram?
Nice.
You want to drive it? Is this our stop?
Huh?
Shall we get off here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Off you go.
Come.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
The future hasn't happened yet, so anything is possible. Great inventors nurture and embrace their imaginations. They can believe in a future that no one else thinks about. And we can also think about making the future better for people and the planet. The railway is due to be net zero for carbon emissions by 2045 in Scotland and by 2050 in England and Wales. This transformation aims to switch people to rail from more polluting types of transport and to carry more cargo by rail, helping Britain to meet its net zero targets. Did you know that the world is covered with abandoned and disused train tracks? In the UK alone, there are 4,000 miles of disused train tracks which have become footpaths for walkers and cyclists. Even part of Stockton and Darlington Railway is no longer in use. But what if those train tracks could have a new life? And that's where you inventors come in. We've got a challenge for you. We're challenging you to invent something fun, clever, or unusual that can travel on or make use of tracks. It doesn't have to be train tracks. It can be any kind of tracks. Remember, at Little Inventors, we believe that bonkers is brilliant. Now, here's the most important part. Tell us about your invention idea using the invention drawing sheet. Use black pen, colours, and labels to bring it to life. Upload your idea to SDR200.littleinventors.org by the 31st of April 2025. All ideas uploaded will appear on the Little Inventors website and will receive individual feedback. 5 ideas will be selected to be brought to life by professional makers. We can't wait to see your genius inventions. Here are some ideas by previous Little Inventors, Millie and Gabriel, that were brought to life. Millie's bouncy castle car makes long car journeys a lot more fun. Gabriel's roller lamper makes an ordinary lamp much more fun to use by being remote controlled and allowing you to change the colour of the lights. And it's not just great inventors of the past who have invented things to go on tracks. Check out this invention from Arthur. One of our previous Little Inventors, Arthur, combined his passion for gardening and physics to come up with his invention idea, the Super Grow 11,000. Arthur's amazing invention moves the plant back and forth along the windowsill to follow the sunlight. In Arthur's words, sick of your plant getting only half a day's worth of sunlight? Well, with the Super Grow 11,000, your plant will be able to grow twice as fast. It is built so that you can place the growing plant on a moving platform which follows the sun throughout the day and therefore provides the plant with a whole day's worth of sunlight. This invention is built for Monty Don and other gardening enthusiasts. It even ended up on Gardener's World, Arthur's favourite TV show. Now it's your turn to go full steam ahead. We can't wait to see your inventions.